Good morning. 1 Peter 1:3-9. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. By his great mercy, he has given us a new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and into an inheritance that is imperishable, undefiled, and unfading, kept in heaven for you, who are being protected by the power of God through faith, for salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. In this you rejoice, even if now, for a little while, you've had to suffer various trials, so that the genuineness of your faith, being more precious than gold, that, though perishable, is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. Although you have not seen him, you love him. And even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and rejoice with an indescribable and glorious joy, for you are receiving the outcome of your faith, the salvation of your souls.
The gospel readings from John 20:19-31. And when it was evening that day, the first day of the week, the doors of the house where the disciples had met were locked with fear of the Jews. Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be unto you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples rejoiced when they saw the Lord. Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, so I send you." When he said this, he breathed on them and said to them, "Receive this Holy Spirit. If you forgive the sins of any, they are forgiven them. If you retain the sins of any, they are retained." But Thomas, who was called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. So when the others told him, "We have seen the Lord," he said to them, "Unless I see the marks on the nails of his hands, put his finger in the mark of the nails, and my hand on the side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them. Although the door was shut, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it on my side. No doubt you believe." And Thomas answered, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have not seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have come to believe." And now Jesus did many signs among the presence of the disciples, which are not written among in this book. But these are written so that you may come believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that through believing you may have life in his name. This is the word of God to the people of God.
These Sundays are good for me. When the slides don't always work and things don't quite go like I expect. Because it's a reality check for me, I think, in a lot of ways. Because my first reaction is to panic, right? That something's wrong and I have to fix it. But it feels a lot like life sometimes, right? And I'm reminded that here we're still able to sing and to be together and to worship. It doesn't demand that there's perfection in this place, and I appreciate that. I need that today, I think. I'm still learning to preach, but I've been thinking a lot about what my preaching style is. Especially as I prepare to go to seminary, I've been thinking about, who am I as a preacher? I think my hope is that this will feel like a conversation. I want my sermons to feel conversational. I want them to be the beginning of a conversation that we continue outside of this place. I want us to be able to wrestle together and to learn from one another and to be able to figure this out together. And that demands some honesty for me, I think, sometimes. This week, maybe even this month, has been weary for me. As many of you know, the last few weeks have been full of things that I didn't quite expect. With seminary visits and applications, with losing my aunt, and with being sick, I found myself very tired this week, empty at times, with not very much left to give. A dear friend of mine sat down with me over coffee and asked if I thought I was sick because I don't ever stop moving. But I heard, though this is not what she said, if you were better at this balance thing, you wouldn't be so sick. I sat with another friend over coffee this week, and we chatted about life and about faith as we normally do, and how we were doing. And both of us lamented the same thing, that we feel a little bit weary, a little bit tired, and we don't quite know what to do about it. Her friend had sent her a well-meaning podcast about a couple who had lost everything and was able to rejoice through it all. And though this is a beautiful story of faith, it perpetuated her shame that she couldn't just get a grip or just feel joyful. I'm assuming that all of you have been here at some point. You've had the moments where you just don't feel like you have a lot left, when you don't know exactly what faith looks like. We've all been here at some point. Sean reminded us on Good Friday that Good Friday and Easter are the stories that make us who we are. This is the story that all good stories are built upon, and that we build, therefore, our lives upon. Easter Sunday in the church begins the season of Easter in the church calendar. So within this, we are in the second Sunday of Easter. This is the time of year that aligns directly with our reality as we live in a post-resurrection world. And so we continue in this place to flesh out, what does it mean for us to live in light of the resurrection? What does faith look like? I'm not sure about you, but I feel like all around me I've been sold kind of a quick fix for things. I buy into whatever will help make my pain and my hardship go away immediately. I'll put money and time, resources and energy into whatever comfort and assurance I can find. This has in a lot of ways been the faith that I was sold and that I was expecting. I expected a faith that was sure and unwavering. I expected a faith that would help me avoid pain and suffering. And I expected a faith that would make everything better, make everything hurt a little bit less. And so when I find myself on weeks like these, when I'm weary, then I find myself feeling some shame. I must have missed something. I must have missed the point along the way or done something wrong. I want God to feed me some sort of formula to make this go away in 3 to 5 days, maybe tops, and to make me feel better like that. Pray more. Read my Bible a few more times a day. Perhaps this will be the ticket I find to comfort, to pain-free, easy, faith-filled life. I think to frame our exploration of our text today, we must remember that though we often read Good Friday in light of Easter, engaging the pain and the horror of that day with ease because we consider there to be a happy ending, Jesus' resurrection does not erase all that happened before it, and it does not result in a reset button that makes everything fine and immediate. With that in mind, let's approach this text and see what Jesus says here. What does Jesus' resurrection mean for our lives? The text we read today begins with Jesus' interaction with the disciples, but I want us to back ourselves up a little bit and start a little bit earlier in John. Let us find our stories here. I'm going to start reading from John's Gospel, chapter 20, verses 11 through 18. Mary stood weeping outside the tomb, and as she wept, she stooped to look into the tomb. And she saw 2 angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had lain, one at the head and one at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And she said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." Having said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him." Jesus said to her, "Mary," and she turned and responded, "Teacher." Mary then went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord." We are a people well acquainted with grief. In the sermon he wrote after his daughter lost her battle with leukemia, John Claypool says this: "The words, 'He was a person of sorrows, acquainted with grief,' are descriptive of us all. Every person who has lived very long on this earth. It is true that many of us think of grief only in relation to bereavement and death, because this is the most intense form of the experience. As a matter of fact, any time we lose something that is of any value to us, the feelings we experience are feelings of grief. As soon as a child is old enough to love something that can be lost, that one is a candidate to become a person of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Very few get very far without experiencing loss in some way. I'm sure it's not a stretch for you to recall a moment that you have been grieving. They say the first stage of grief is denial. Mary stood outside the tomb crying, and as she wept, she bent over to look in the tomb. Denial. Mary stands here in grief. What has just happened? This miracle-working man, the healer, the one who forgives, is dead. And with him, she has lost her hopes for all that could have been her Savior of the world. I imagine that crying is a nice way of putting it. If I am Mary at the tomb, I am wailing. I am in shock, and I am in denial. Perhaps she had to be the one to go, because she had to see it again, the tomb that held her Savior, her Lord, her friend. To be at my aunt's home last week was to be aware of her absence, was for me to be able to see and experience the very real fact that she is not here. It is inevitable that we run through these questions as we grieve. Though some are able to stand unwavering in their belief as they grieve, for me it demands an honesty. Trying to reconcile the reality of my pain with the truth of a God who is good, who is able to give life. And so I see the empty tomb with Mary here, and I wonder, can it be? The tomb is empty, but that doesn't seem to be evidence enough for Mary. The angels ask why she is weeping and hope that he could be alive is too painful a hope. So she replies, they must have taken him away, and I don't know where they put him. She turns around and there she sees Jesus. Still not evidence enough. Hope remains difficult. She doesn't recognize him. Perhaps she just can't let herself see. It's easier to assume that he is the gardener. Jesus continues to come to her in her grieving, in her inability to hope, in her inability to see, and he calls her by name, Mary. Jesus doesn't condemn her for her questions or her pain. He doesn't condemn her for her grief or for her taking time to recognize him. Jesus continues to come to her in the midst of these things. So Mary turns and she calls him teacher, clinging to him, pronouncing her reaffirmed faith. And then she goes to tell the disciples what she's seen. John reminded us last week that she runs to tell the disciples what she's seen. She gets to them and she shares her testimony, I have seen the Lord. John continues to tell the story this way. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be with you. After he said this, he showed them his hands and his side, and the disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Again, Jesus said, peace be with you. As the Father sent me, I am sending you. I'm certain that we are people who have felt great fear at times. We are people who have cowered and hid and tried to keep ourselves closed off from the world that we can't control. They have heard that Jesus is risen. The disciples have been told. Mary told them. But this wasn't enough. Others' experience of God isn't always enough for me either. These disciples have just watched as their beloved Jesus is killed. They have seen the power of Christ, and now they have seen him seemingly be defeated. Where will they turn? What do they do next? In fear, they retreat. This doesn't look like the stories of faith we like to boast about, huh? This isn't an unwavering in the faith and fear, keep your footing without being phased faith. This is, we're afraid, so let's all go together and lock ourselves away from the rest of the world. Faith. Jesus does not make them find him. Jesus doesn't shame them for their fear or their hiding. He meets them right there. He comes and he offers them peace. And then he says to them, touch my hands and touch my side and see that it is me. We are reminded even in this moment, in seeing Jesus' scars, that we carry with us the realities of our experience. The resurrection doesn't take those things away. But Jesus comes, the God who understands. And he meets his disciples in their fear, and he breathes life, his spirit, into them. And they then stand with reaffirmed faith. The story continues. Enter Thomas. Now, our friend here is who we all know as Doubting Thomas, which is a bit unfortunate if you ask me. For whatever reason, Thomas misses the moment when Jesus comes to the disciples in the upper room. But let's recap a little bit about what we know about Thomas from before this incident. You may or may not remember that a few chapters before this in John, when Jesus hears this story when Jesus hears that his friend Lazarus has died. Jesus said that he's going to go see him, Mary, and Martha. The disciples know that people want to kill him along the way, and they encourage him not to go. Jesus makes clear that he is in fact going to go anyway, and Thomas is the one who steps up and says, then let us go also, that we may die with him. If this were the story that we decided we should name Thomas after, we might call him Dedicated Thomas, or Faithful Thomas, or Willing to Die for Christ Thomas, even. But here we find Thomas a few weeks later, and the man he had been willing to lose his life for has died. He has heard the testimony of the other disciples, but it isn't enough for him. Others' experience of God isn't always enough for me either. When the disciples say to him, "We have seen the Lord," he responds, "Well, unless I see in his hands the mark of the nails, and place my hand into his side, I will never believe." An honest evaluation finds me here in Thomas's shoes as well. Hope is too hard sometimes. Plus, fairly or unfairly, I am known to throw some stipulations at God. I want to be sure. I can't quite grasp what's always happening, so I try to quantify my faith with some sort of certainty. If you're God, maybe you'll do X, Y, or Z. I'm thinking that maybe some of you are able to fill in those blanks with your own experience. Plus, this is the experience the disciples just had. They just got to see and feel his hands and his side. Thomas is just asking for the same opportunity. So then we read the gospel and find what happens. A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." And then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." And Thomas says, "My Lord and my God." A week later. A week later. Note that they're back in the house and the doors are locked again. Thomas remains here with his questions. And I think that we are people who hold some questions too. John Claypool says it this way: "There is more honest faith in an act of questioning than the act of silent submission. For implicit in the very asking is the faith that some light can be given." There's more honest faith in an act of questioning than in the act of silent submission. For implicit in the very asking is the faith that some light can be given. Note here that doubt, that struggling to believe fully without another affirmation isn't a shameful thing. It isn't in contrast to faith, it's within faith. I wonder if we see a very profound faith in Thomas, actually. His understanding of a God who is able to come to him in his struggle to fully accept and to offer him a renewed faith and an affirmation. "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief." And that is exactly what Jesus does. He comes among them in their hiding, in their doubting, and he says, "Peace be with you." And then he turns to Thomas and he offers his hands and his side. And Thomas responds with a rejoicing and a firm faith, saying, "My Lord and my God." There's a rhythm here that I think is helpful for us to see and to experience. In many ways, faith can be difficult for me at times. I expected a faith that was sure and unwavering. I expected a faith that would help me avoid pain and suffering. I expected a faith that would make everything better and make everything hurt less. But I find myself here, Sunday morning after a weary few weeks, where I shed a lot of tears and experienced some pain and lost some sleep, where I felt fear and I hid from people who cared about me, and I hid in fear of some of the realities of our world. These experiences have led me to feel some shame and to question myself and to question my faith, because I love the formulas and the guarantee and the control. But I think this text has grace for me. I think it has grace for us. Ours is not the guarantee that we will never waver, that we will never grieve or fear or hide or question. But ours is the guarantee that our God arrives in these places with us, unwilling to leave us alone. Ours is not the guarantee that we will never waver, that we will never grieve or never fear, never hide or never question. But ours is the guarantee that our God will arrive in these places with us, unwilling to leave us alone. Ours is God who came to Mary in her grief. Ours is God who came to the disciples in their fear. And ours is God who came to Thomas in his questioning. Over and over and over again, he shows up and reaffirms faith without shame or condemnation. The God we see in Jesus here is the God who makes his own self vulnerable to us in offering himself in the midst of our days and in the midst of our experience. There is a rhythm here. Mary hears the testimony of the angels. It sparks the faith, but it isn't quite enough. Jesus reveals himself to her, and she runs to tell the tale with an affirmed and a deepened faith. The disciples then hear the testimony of Mary. It sparks a faith, but it's not quite enough. Jesus then reveals himself to them, and they tell the tale with an affirmed and a deepened faith. Thomas then hears the testimony of the disciples. It sparks a faith, but it's not quite enough, Jesus reveals himself to him, and he exclaims his affirmed and deepened faith, my Lord and my God. Hear his words, my Lord and my God. We sit in this place today, we continue this story. We have heard the testimony now of Thomas. Thomas who has seen in the Lord, and here we sit. Since we have the grace to be honest before our God, and to know that that is a profound act of faith. Mary has heard and has seen. The disciples have heard and have seen. Thomas has heard and has seen, and we have heard. And so we remain here with a sparked faith from the testimony of Thomas. We stand where they all stood in that moment of, can it be? But forth from here, with eyes open, expectant, ready to receive the resurrected Christ who comes to you in the very places where you grieve and where you fear and where you doubt. We have heard and we will see. Our faith will be renewed, affirmed, and deepened.